I think initially, and I can't blame them, I don't think they believed me.
I didn't.
Yeah, it was like, okay, buddy, sure.
When Dan Smoker emailed Steve on Your Side, he thought he was waiting for a refund from United for a failed attempt at rebooking a flight.
It was going to be 18 days going all over Europe, doing a Mediterranean cruise.
Their flight from DIA to London got canceled, so Dan spent an entire morning on the phone with United trying to rebook. First, he attempted to get United to book his family on a partner airline.
If you pay for the ticket, we'll just refund you.
Dan says the representative named David put him on hold for a while, came back, and said he couldn't book the other flight, but Dan's card was already charged for more than 17 grand. He promised a refund and got the family on another flight.
I got an email from the person spelling out exactly what I was getting refunded for.
Months passed and that refund never came. Dan was getting no answers, so he contacted us.
It was actually you that brought up the possibility of it being a scam.
He's right, because when I read that refund email, I spotted red flags almost immediately. Like, the email didn't come from a United email address. The format is weird, some numbers with zeros in front of them, dollars always listed in USD, dates with the day in front of the month. I figured Dan had been taken advantage of. Thought maybe he'd Google the number for United, a common way that thieves trick people. But he didn't.
I was on with United's official customer support number.
Dan's call log shows he only called United's actual customer service line, 1-800-UNITED-1. Even lists a 3-hour phone conversation, the one where Dan says David took that 17 grand.
The more I looked into it, the more clear it became that it was a scam via United's system somehow. How that happened, I have no idea.
Steve on Your Side contacted United, who told us they have record of Dan's calls that morning.
The one they do have, which is the same as the one that I talked to David for over 3 hours, 3 hours and 18 minutes, they show as a 13-minute call. And they say that at that point, I had dropped off and they don't have any further recording.
But Dan's call log shows that call continued for hours.
I got put on hold by that person. It was a female. And then the next person that come back was David.
United did tell us the number David left in that refund email called into their call center too the same morning, which makes sense.
David is ultimately the one that got us on the flight via Newark, that got us to London.
Dan's credit card statement shows a bunch of charges marked as United for seat upgrades on the flight they eventually got on. But it also shows that $17,000 charge to a generic company called Airline Fare.
I did dispute the charge with my credit card. You know, it's not even about United paying the $17,000.
Dan just wants to know how he called United and got David.
A United spokesperson told us that they've been in contact with Dan and they're now reviewing the matter thoroughly, though they wouldn't tell us more about how that call ended up getting to David in the first place. And Dan told us today that the representative he's been working with said that they won't be able to share any details of any security investigations with him. I'm Steve Steger. Steve on Your Side, 9 News.
Kind of stinks that they can't tell them what they find.
I know, and it seems so sophisticated.
You know, in this case, I got to tell you, I instantly thought, okay, he must have Googled that number, right? Because we've heard about a lot of people who go online and Google, and I'll tell you never to do this, always look at it for a number on a trusted source, who go online and Google and find a phone number and then think they're talking to United, but actually are talking to someone else. In this case, he was talking to United. They have record of him on the phone with United. Then United told him that it sounds like the call drops. That's the end of that recording. And that's when he says David got on the line and starts talking him through all sorts of different stuff and ends up out $17,000.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
There's just so many ways to get people anymore. All right, Steve, thank you.
Thank you.